All right. Right, so we are live. So good afternoon, Miss Ali, and it is really, really nice to have you on with us today for the third year. I am so appreciative of your services always, and this collaboration, it always means a lot to me because I really like the fact that our students here in Dominica can not only benefit from the teachers in Dominica, but teachers outside as well. So Miss Ali, the floor is yours. Tell the students about yourself and of course everything that you do here today will definitely benefit them.
Yes, thank you and good afternoon. It's always a pleasure. As Ms. said, this is our third group of students that we are doing this workshop for. And I am absolutely happy to share what I know with you guys in preparation for your exams. So we are going to look at creative writing. And when it comes to creative writing, um, we are going to look at narrative, we are going to look at the expository, and we're going to look at the persuasive because that's essentially what you guys have to do for your exam. Now, in Trinidad and Tobago, our students would have written their secondary entrance exams already. And for creative writing, they usually do just the narrative and the expository. So, regarding that, a little bit about myself, children. I am a teacher at the secondary level, but I work with the, yes. Are you all hearing me?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
yes,
Some students are saying they're not hearing.
Yes, please.
Okay, good. Some students are saying that they're not hearing. So I'm not sure why. Maybe sometimes you just log out and come back in and the audio it works. I don't know what it is, not tech savvy, but sometimes it just works, right? So regarding creative writing, my journey would have started at the secondary school level, where I would have been teaching students from Form 1s to 5. And then I would have started marking the exam we have here for the entrance exam into secondary school. And I realized that there were some gaps in creative writing. And that led me on a path to develop strategies and formulas for creative writing. Can you imagine that, having formulas to write a story? Can you all imagine that we have formulas just like maths? We have formulas to write.
Yes.
Yes, good. Excellent. So we are going to get into those formulas. So these formulas were formulas that I would have created for students to write. And that is what we're going to learn about today. As I said, we're going to look at the genres that you would be preparing for your exams. I know exams are close, and I just want to speak to the exam itself. At this point, I usually advise the students that you have to keep focused. Preparation is key, meaning that you have to keep that steady pace going. Now is not the time to get frustrated and so on, even though I know it is a little bit stressful. But just keep the pace, keep the focus, and exactly what you are doing here, it says that you are already on the right path. All right. So we are going to get straight into it. I would just ask that we mute the mics. You turn your mic on. If you have a question, you can raise your hand so that we don't get any feedback coming in, right? So we are going to start with narrative writing first. And I'm going to share some information with you as to how we use these formulas that I spoke about in narrative writing. Yes?
I could not hear you because my internet was bad.
I understand that. Are you hearing me now?
Yes, miss.
Yes. So sometimes, we just log back in and somehow it works, right? So are you excited to get into the content today?
Yes, miss.
Excellent. All right. So I'm going to stop my video and I'm going to share the document that I have prepared for you guys. All right. And we are going to look at narrative writing first, as I said.
Okay.
Yes. Let me just get a document. Just give me 1 second to get it. Right? So again, just asking that we just mute the mics so that we can have a clear audio for everyone. If you have a question, you can raise your hand, or you can um, just message on the chat. All right. Share. Okay. Are you okay? I'm not seeing the document here yet. Let's see. Ongoing meeting. Okay. All righty. I think I'm seeing it here. Are you guys seeing it?
Yes, miss.
No, miss.
No.
Miss.
No, miss.
No,
I'm
miss.
not seeing clear.
No,
No.
miss.
No, miss.
I don't see that all.
No, miss.
No, miss.
I think I'm seeing it either. All right. Let me see. Okay. Let me just message Miss here. So when would be your exams?
May the 22nd.
This year.
Miss,
May
second.
the 28th, May the 29th.
28th or 29th.
29th.
29th. Okay.
29th.
Hello to the win.
That's very soon.
I have connections next year.
Okay, so that's very soon. And some of us are writing next year, so this is a good preparatory workshop here. All right. So how many of us are we excited about the exam? How many of us get excited about exams?
Miss me. Me.
Good.
Me.
So exams are
Me.
excellent. I'm not sure what's happening with the document. Okay, good. I think I can
Not
share it
me,
here.
miss. I am nervous.
Well, you know what? Nervousness is good, right? Because I always say to students, when you are nervous, it says that you care about your exams. It says that you want to do well, right? So it is important that we understand the importance of being nervous, right? We understand. Okay, let me try sharing here now. Yes, we understand the importance of our exams, and we want to do well. We want to make our parents proud. So that is an excellent place to be. So it's just to make sure that we don't feel nervous to the point of panicking, right? We don't want to do that at all. All right. So with that in mind, let me see something here. We want to just manage our emotions, because I was talking to you firstly about how you are feeling and some of the things for preparation. It doesn't have to do with the content, you know. Sometimes it's a simple thing like being able to manage our emotions. That's very, very important. Emotional regulation, right? So when it comes to emotional regulation, it means that we have to learn how to manage our stress. We have to learn how to understand ourselves to the point where we can be calm, right? Okay. I think what I have to do. So I'm getting the document to see. So I have to just make an announcement here, right? No. All right, save the file, save. Right. So let me go back on the screen here. Yes. So we have to ensure that we know how to um, manage our emotions. You see, prayer is very important. So that we don't get into that mode of panic, because we have to make sure that we are very, very clear headed for the exam. The worst thing a student can do is to be prepared for every single thing. And then you go into the exam, and because you are so nervous, you just shut down. We don't want that happening at all, do we?
No.
We don't
Yes.
No, miss.
right? So
No,
I
miss.
no, we don't want that. And I can tell you, as someone who marks the exam in Trinidad, so I'm a marker for the exam, and I can, and up, just today I had classes with my students, and I was reminding them. I said, you have to picture yourself in that exam room. And when you picture yourself in the exam room, you have to ensure that you are going to be able to manage your fear, your nervousness, because it's normal. It's very, very normal to have those emotions. We are human beings, and it's part of who we are. But we have to make sure to be able to control it, right? So you take some deep breaths, you say a prayer, and then you open your paper and you start your exam. So it's something to just be mindful of, because we don't want to go in a state of panic. And part of helping us to be so comfortable and prepared for the exam is doing things like this. So I'm going to give you some very easy things to use for narrative writing. All right. So this is just a welcome message. This document will be shared with you. So I just want to go through these steps here. Right now, when you get a question for story writing, I want you to read your question, and you're going to read it to understand. Because just like math and English and your other questions, you have to understand the topic for narrative writing. So if they ask you about writing about a house on fire, write about a wonderful vacation, you can write about something that is going to be related to the topic. So you read your question carefully. And as you read, look at point B here. As you read, underline from the question. So we have characters, setting, problem, and any other key point, right? And then after you do that, you go and you ask yourself, is it fantasy, reality, or both? Fantasy stories are stories that are based on anything that is made up or not real. And then ones that are reality would be things that are based on real life. So all of what we just have here, like I said, some of you are asking if you need to write. I would ask if you want to make a note, fine, but I don't want you watching and copying. This document, I will ask Miss to send it to your parents so that you can go over the document after. I want in this session that you understand. So when you go back, you'll say, oh, that is what Miss was saying, to read and underline characters and so on. So just pay attention, and you will get this document after, right? So no stress. So I'm going to show you what we mean by analyzing the question. So we read and we underline. So the question here, the example is, you were home alone when you saw smoke coming from your neighbor's house. Write the story of what happened next. So in this question, we read and we will underline you. And then we'll underline home alone. And you saw smoke coming from your neighbor's house. And write a story of what happened next. So when we go back and we see you would be a character in the story. The fact that you're home alone, home would be setting, because that's where time and place. And then alone is also part of the problem, because you're alone. Then you saw smoke. Are you supposed to see smoke from your neighbor's house? Not
No,
really,
miss.
right?
No,
Same.
And we hope
no,
Miss.
yes,
if we see
No,
smoke,
miss.
we'd like to think it was a barbecue, and then if it's a barbecue, we would hope that we were invited, right? But this is a different kind of smoke. It's a thick smoke, so we know something is wrong, and it's coming from the neighbor's house, so that tells us setting. That's where it's coming from. Write a story of what happened next. So that's what we call a key point. When we see things like what happened next, this is your signal that I'm not going to write a page and a half about all the things I'm doing home alone and mommy and daddy were not home and I was so happy and I could watch TV for hours and hours and eat cookies and bake. And we don't want to write the story and fill it up with all of that. We want to write the story from the point we are home alone. Maybe our parents went to work. And then while watching TV, we saw the smoke. We go to investigate, and then we realize the neighbor's house is on fire. So we get into the action. We go to help. We call other neighbors. They do a bucket brigade. Fire service come. The firefighters rush. They put out the fire. Neighbors crying. The neighbor next door thankfully wasn't home, but when he came home, he saw the house in ashes. So we talk about how he was distraught. That is the story flow that we want for a question like this. So going back to the point, when you read your question, you read to understand. Make sense? Yes?
Yes, miss.
Yes, miss.
Yes. Yes, miss.
To understand.
Yes, miss.
Very good.
Yes, miss.
So we have this one here now. You and your friends were walking home one afternoon when you saw a strange shadow approaching. Right? The story of this experience. So it says that you and your friends, we'll obviously underline that. And the fact that we're walking home one afternoon, we underline that too. And you saw a strange shadow approaching, we underline that. And the story of this experience is what we are expected to write. So when we look back, we'd see that you and your friends would be characters, walking home one afternoon, setting, because that's where. Strange shadow would be part of the problem. And also, it would be that it might be a new character. Because who or what is the strange shadow? And a story of this experience would be the key point. Now, everybody is clear on that?
Yes,
Yes,
miss. Yes, miss.
Yes, miss.
What miss?
So,
Yes, miss.
Miss.
all right. So, I'm going to, yes, question.
Miss, my screen just showing the cover page saying the Creative Writing Institute, and
Okay.
I'm not seeing the document.
Okay, log out and come back in. Let's see if that will work. Right? Okay.
I leave and come back?
Yes. Leave and rejoin.
Okay.
All right. Okay, children. So I'm going to do something here with you, right? Forget what we saw on the screen just now. Good? I'm going to type a question in the chat. So everybody just go into the chat, right?
Want to type in question? What in the chat? In the chat.
What's in chat?
Question in the chat. Wait.
Mm-hmm.
Mrs. Login, I hear you properly.
Okay. Are you hearing me now?
Yes, miss. Yes.
All right. So the question on the chat was that you were at your grandparents' home when you discovered a secret passage. Write a story of what you discovered. What are we going to underline here?
Well, hurry up.
Miss, grandparents' house.
You
as
very
a
good.
character.
You very good. So you would be character, grandparents' house. So the grandparents will also be
setting.
Secret passage. Secret passage.
very good.
One another.
Very good. Let me see if I can take a
Miss,
picture.
I can't hear you properly.
You want to try logging out and coming back in because I know that the weather is bad and it's giving us some problems here, right?
Okay, miss.
Yes, let's try that.
We have to write a story.
No, I'm going to just show you something here. So let me just pull up something here. Just give me 1 sec.
Yeah.
All right, are we seeing this on the screen?
Yes,
Yes,
miss.
miss.
It's very, very small.
Yes, miss.
Yes, miss.
Better now?
Yes, miss.
Yes.
All right.
Yes, miss.
So
Yes,
children,
miss.
just learned that we should read and underline important things in the question. So I want you to tell me, what should I underline in this topic here?
You and grandparents.
Grandparents'
Grandparents'
house.
home. Home. His grandparents' home.
Right? It's underlined. What else?
Discover uncovered a secret
Secret
passageway.
passageway.
Secret passageway.
Secret passageway.
Right? And write the story of what you discovered. Right. So, excellent. So I want everybody to mute their mics now. Right?
Mute all your mic. Because
Yeah. Mute the mics for 1 sec. Now, we underline this, right? And I want you to see what we underlined here. Now, you see I put a little formula here on the screen. And the formula here is CCRSP. There's another P to her. CCRSPP. So it stands for crisp, which is like, think about a crispy chip. So crispy sand at the beach, right? So crisp. So when we are underlining, what we are underlining really and truly is called crisp, or the elements of the story. So the C stands, this C is for character. This C is for conflict or problem. This R is for the resolution or solution to that problem. The S is for setting, which is time and place in the story. Then the other P, the first P is for point of view. Who is telling the story? And then the other P here is for plot, right? Now, this formula is extremely important when you are doing this analysis. So look how we're going to use this formula, crisp, back here. So we underline you. You all were absolutely correct. We underline you at your grandparents' house, discover the secret passageway, write the story of what you discovered. So you, what we will do in the exam, you would be a character. So we put a little C over that. But we don't want to mix up the C for conflict. So we put P here, right? So grandparents is also a character. The home, their home would be part of the setting. You discovered a secret passageway. You shouldn't really have secret passageway in your grandparents' home, right? So this ends up being a problem. Not so? Right. And then you have to write a story of what you discovered. Good. So this is what we'll put this as a KP, key point, right? So this question here, can you see how parts of crisp comes back in the analysis of the question?
Yes, miss.
Make sense?
Yes.
Yes.
Right. Good. Now, point of view.
Yes, miss.
Point of view is
Yes,
who is telling
miss.
the story. So we have first person and we have third person. So what point of view is used here? First or third? So I'll explain what is first and third. First person is when I am telling the story or you are telling the story. So when you see you and your friends, you and your sibling, you and your cousin, all of that is first person, meaning you are in the story. You are telling the story about what happened to you, your experience. Fair? Right. Now, if I were to change you and I say that Catherine or Adam was at their grandparents' home. Catherine and Adam were at their grandparents' home when they discovered a secret passageway. Write the story of what the children discovered. Because I use the names of characters, that now is called third person. Understand the difference?
Yes, miss.
Right.
Yes, miss.
So it's simply
Yes, miss.
very good. So it's simply a shift in pronouns, and the question will tell you. So you don't have to figure that out. The question itself, and more than likely you will get first person where you are in the story. So most likely it's first person, right? Now the other P is plot, and we'll come back to that P. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take a little picture of this here, so I can send it to Miss, right? Because this is not any document that I sent, right? So Now that we have analyzed this question, I want to discuss with you something about fantasy and reality that I was talking about. With narrative writing, we want to understand that there are two types of stories that we can write on. Fantasy stories are things that we can make up from our imagination. How many of us here like Stranger Things
Me.
and Harry Potter? And
Repeat.
how many of us like Harry Potter, Stranger Things? You like to play Fortnite and Minecraft and
Miss
Fortnite.
me.
Me.
Yes, miss.
Minecraft.
Very good. So let me
Miss, I
ask
like to
this.
play Fortnite.
Very good. So let me ask this question, right? Good. Let me ask this question. Are those things real? Are they real?
No.
Very good. So where did they come from? It was made up. Excellent. It was made up. Excellent. It was made up out of the imagination of someone. And this is where we have the fantasy ideas. Now, reality. Some stories, example, a house on fire, a theft or a burglary, a hurricane or storm, or electricity going and no internet and you can't finish your homework. Are those real life stories?
Yes, miss.
Yes.
Yes,
And just and
100%.
Yes, miss.
today, very good. And just today,
Yes, miss.
are we not having some bad weather conditions that's preventing some of us from
Yes,
being here?
miss.
Right.
Yes, miss.
Yes,
Can we
miss.
write a story about that?
Yes, miss.
Can we write a story about the weather and the
Yes,
weather
miss.
change and storm and flood? And
Yes, miss.
yes,
Yes, miss. We can use similes and metaphors.
of course, we use similes and
No.
metaphors.
Miss.
Excellent. So the point of that is when you read your question and we underline and all of that, right? Now you have to say, ask yourself, man, do I want to write a fantasy question? Is this question fantasy, reality, or both? Because you have to remember, you have to interpret the question. A question like this that you discovered a secret passageway, can it be fantasy, reality, or could it be both? Let's pause and think. Both, excellent. It can be both because it's who or what you discovered in the passageway. So some fantasy ideas. Give me some fantasy ideas. Let me hear you.
The candy fairyland or the candy
Fairyland.
garden.
Excellent. Fairyland. Can you go into Roblox world? Can it lead you to a portal and you go into Roblox and Minecraft and Fortnite and you have to fight your way out the game?
Yes, miss.
Very good. Five Nights at Freddy's. Excellent. Right?
Call of Duty Mobile.
Five Nights at Freddy's. Good. And can it, and in terms of reality, can it be that there was a burglar hiding? Yes? A burglar hiding in your grandparents' home?
Dragon as a liar.
Oh yes, you can write about dragons and all of that.
Miss Beauty and the Beast.
Beauty and the Beast. Excellent. Because all of these are stories. So what you have to do when you see that question, right? And I tell the students in Trinidad this all the time. Up to today, I said it. I said an exam, you must have a strategy, right? You can prepare and read all your books and all of that. That's fine. But you must have a strategy to work in that exam. And for narrative writing, what I tell students to do is to have at least 6 ideas. When I say 6 ideas, I mean like Stranger Things, One Piece, a house on fire, a storm, stealing mangoes from the neighbor tree and getting caught. So you have about 6 ideas, sorry, right? And you're going to make sure you develop that story in your head properly, that you have the characters well done, the setting well done, the phrases for feelings, and so on. So that when you go into the exam, the strategy is you are walking in with ideas before you even see the question. And the reason is most narrative topics, they are so easy to apply. So look at this question here. You at your grandparents' home when you discovered a secret passageway. So let's say we are using Five Nights at Freddy's as one of our ideas, right? And let's say another question. You were home alone and you heard a strange sound at the back door. Can you use Five Nights at Freddy's in that
Yes,
story?
miss.
Yes,
Right.
miss.
And
Yes,
then
miss.
let's say there's another question, and the question says,
Yes, miss.
you were at the beach and there was a shiny object sticking out, and write a story about what you discovered. Can you say it was some key or some portal that sucked you into the Five Nights at Freddy's, into the warehouse, and so on?
Yes,
Yes,
miss.
miss.
Right? Let's say there's another topic and it says that the sky suddenly turned dark. Write a story that and the weather changed and you and your friends got scared. Write a story. Can you say that it was, again, use another portal and you go and you get sucked into Five Nights at Freddy's? Can you use that story idea again?
Yes,
Yes,
miss.
Yes?
Yes.
Very good. So my point is again, we work with a strategy, and the strategy is have at least 6 different types of stories. Have some horror ones, have some adventure ones, some reality ones. So with those 6 ideas, you're not going to sit down and guess in the exam, okay, well, what to write. You are going to learn how to adapt your idea into the question. Because remember, we said we like the one on the beach, we writing Five Nights at and we use a portal, right? The weather changed suddenly and you got scared. We use the portal. The knock at the door, it was the bear outside you waiting for you to capture you. No portal needed. Understand? So you just change the storyline and make it work into the question. Sound smart? Sound smart?
Yes,
Yes?
yes,
yes,
miss.
miss.
Right. So the portal would appear when you pull open, when you touch the shiny object in the stand, the portal would appear. When the clouds start to get dark, it actually swirl and turn into a portal. So this is where your imagination has to come to life because you have to make that storyline work. That is where creativity comes into play. Understand? So that's why I said have at
Yes,
least
miss.
6 different stories, and you all have so much wonderful story ideas that you don't have to struggle. All you have to do is really and truly learn the skill of using the ideas you have and apply it to the question. So when you're asking things like, well, where the portal is going to come from and how the portal is going to come and all of that, really and truly, it's easy. You just have to know how to make it fit in your writing, right? So now that we have that understanding here, right, I'm going to move to another aspect of the story. So I'm going to come back to this, right? So I saved the picture with this. I think I saved it, right? Good. And anything else I will that we discuss here, I will send it to Miss, right? So everybody is good with crisp. Crisp is again the elements of the short story in narrative writing. We discuss hearts. So you will see the hearts. There's the example here with hearts, right? The fantasy reality. So like this one here, you and your friends went on a fishing trip. While out at sea, the waves became rough and the sky turned dark. Write the story. It can be both fantasy and reality. This one here, you were playing it with slime and the slime began to move. Write the story of what creature the slime turned into. That's only reality. Sorry, fantasy, because the slime is not supposed to move, right? So let's see. Um, So I'm going to move over to this here. Are you seeing this on the screen? Now I have some, let me just give me 1 second here. Right. I'm not sure how to do this, children. Right. Okay. Good. All right. So we sorted out the chat, right? Because I know it can be distracting. All right, so we have this formula here. So we learned about one formula just now, and that formula is, anybody remembers? What was it called?
Chris.
Chris. Excellent. Very, very good. Now, the second formula we're going to learn, and very important, is Iraqafe, right? Or Iraqafe. Iracfae, right? So that's the formula here. And do you all know of the Story Mountain? This is nothing strange, right? Right?
No,
What is
miss.
what is
Miss,
okay?
can I,
What is the
can
story
we
of
not
this?
Father's Day?
That's okay. You all know what a plot is, the sequence of event and a story.
Yes, miss.
Yes, miss.
A story.
Miss.
Let me show you how you all already know this. Does all stories have an introduction?
Yes.
Yes,
Right? Do all stories have a rising action?
Yes,
Yes,
miss.
miss.
Stories have a conflict or
Yes,
problem?
miss.
Yes,
miss.
Do all stories have a falling action?
Yes,
yes,
miss.
Good. And an ending.
yes, miss.
Yes, miss.
I'm going to explain this now for everybody. So I'm going to show you the question. So we're going to look at this here, right? So what I usually do, this formula here, we have it written so that you can see on your paper, you can actually use it to plan your story, right? And what this formula does, it ensures that you do not miss anything in your story. So your story will have an introduction, clear. You would have a clear rising action, clear climax, falling action, end. You see how short this. So the question we have here, the example, you were at the beach when you decided to explore your surroundings. Write the story of the adventure you had. So we came up with the idea of a mermaid going to Atlantis. And look at how we use the Rockefeller plan. We said I would be Leah and I were exploring the beach. So my friend Leah and I, the rising action, this is the building of the story. We spotted a boat and I asked my friend Leah to go rowing. The climax, we drifted away from the shore and a huge wave toppled us. So that's the problem, right? Then the falling action, how this was solved, we were washed up in Atlantis where we were saved by a mermaid. The mermaid, in the end of the story, we will return safely to the beach and our family, right? So are we able to see from this here how Iraqafe can help us plan our storyline?
Yes, miss.
Yes,
Miss.
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 You are very correct.
Very good. I'm
Yes,
going to
miss.
share a little
Yes,
secret with
miss.
you all, right? For our exams here, I always tell the children, I say use this as a safety blanket in the exam. So some of you said you were nervous and so on, right? When you get your paper for narrative writing, I want you to just, so this is your question for exam. You're going to take your pencil, you're going to underline, we're going to underline you at the beach. You decided to explore your surroundings, write the story of the adventure. So you know you would be character. You know, at the beach would be setting. You're exploring. So this is a key point. It could also be part of the problem. And the adventure you had is a key point. So you do that. You say, okay, man, I could write fantasy or I could write reality for this one. I'm going to write a story about Atlantis. And you take the formula Iraqafe and you plan your entire story. Can you see yourself doing this?
Yes, miss.
Miss.
Yes, miss.
Miss.
All right. So
Yes, miss.
very, very quickly, we are going to move on. So let me get the eraser, right? Now I am going to teach you how to develop. Now, the plot is excellent to learn and all of that, right? But what really makes a good story is the ability to develop three things: your setting, your characters, and the feelings in that story. All right? So we are
Yes,
going to
miss.
about another formula here for character development. But I'm going to explain who are characters, and I'm going to explain how you can develop your characters in your story. So characters. Can we have a story without characters?
No, miss.
No, miss.
Yes.
No,
No,
Miss.
miss.
Can you
miss.
can you think of any story without a character? The answer is no,
No, miss.
No, miss.
right? So we cannot have any story without a character. So that's correct. So how do we develop characters? Characters would be people, objects, persons, right? Animals. Excellent.
Miss, I have
Very
a
good.
question.
Sure.
Miss, I have a question.
I'm listening. Go ahead.
Yes, all stories must have an introduction.
Yes, must have an introduction. Must. Yes. Right? Must have an introduction. Because how are we going to, but there are ways in which you can um, be able to change your introduction. Some people, they start, so there are ways that you can start your story, different ways. You can start with a question, you can start with a quotation, you can start with
It's a flashback.
flashback. Yes, you all know about the flashbacks. Very good. Right? So, all
Miss Dialogue.
dialogue. Excellent. So, all of those are ways that you can have your stories started, right? I don't know how to disable the. All right. So, can we not write up on the screen? Thank you. Would appreciate that. I'm not tech savvy as you all. You all are quick with it. I am not, right? So, appreciate if you all don't draw up on the screen, right? Samsung, right.
Miss, how they control the screen?
I don't know. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know.
Don't know how to do that.
So, right.
Miss, what time class ending?
Well, we are going to try to end as maybe in about an hour or two. That's usually we usually go an hour and a half to 2 hours, right? Okay. So, what we want to understand with characters, right? And I want everybody to pay attention. We want to understand that characters can be people, they can be objects, and they can also be animals. Who are the characters in Madagascar? People, animals, or objects?
Animals.
Animal.
Animals.
Who are the characters in Toy Story?
Animals.
Who are the characters in Toy Story?
Woody.
Toys.
Right?
Toys. Toys.
Objects, toys, and toys are objects.
Those are objects.
So we want to understand that characters can be people, they can be objects, and they can also be animals. Once we understand that, then we understand that we can write theories, we can write about dragons, we can write about a whole lot of things, right? So that's important. Now, how do we do this? How do we make these characters come alive on our paper? Well, we have a little formula here and it's called PAPED. All right. So the formula PAPED, you can say paped, you can say papped, doesn't matter. What it does, it teaches us a few things with characterization, right? So we are looking at um, the example here, right? And with the example, we are going to read. I'm really trying to get the control to stop the writing, okay? So I'm going to ask some volunteers to read. Can I ask Ethan Paul? Ethan Paul, can you read the example up to physical features for me, please? And after Ethan, Ashtel, Afred, you can continue reading after that.
Miss, I'm not hearing you reading.
I'm not hearing either. Can you read? Okay, can someone
Miss physical features?
Yes, I was
Miss, I
horrified.
can
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead to read. I was horrified.
A legendary figure suddenly towered over me. Its eyes pierced my soul as the bony fingers lunged forward.
Reborn. Someone is writing on this screen.
Okay, let's continue.
Immediately recall.
Miss, I'm not hearing nothing.
I'm not hearing anybody speaking now.
All right, Zendaya, do you want to read?
No, Miss me, get right
Yes,
after it.
miss.
Okay, go ahead, Zandaya.
I was horrified to see the pretty child's hand that held mine was worn, black as ash and skeletal. My eyes widened as the realization dawned that the child was naked, except for the wide straw-brimmed hat that covered her face. Her
Miss, I
pale
can read
blue
after.
lips were visible, and I mentally lost
I'll read
my
after too.
composure as I saw her feet were turned backwards.
I'll read.
Go ahead.
Miss, I want to,
Miss, I can read after. Miss, I can read now.
Sure, go ahead.
Miss, I wanted to read.
Okay, we'll get a chance. I'll try to give everybody a chance. Go ahead.
I can read now.
Go ahead.
The legendary figure suddenly towered over me. Its eyes pierced my soul as the bony fingers lunged forward. I immediately recalled Nana's story of the little children like these. They were called doings. Children who died when they were young and before being christened. Their souls were unable to rest. My my chest constricted as trep, trepidation poked,
Trepidation.
trepidation poked an icy finger at my chest. Get away from me! My voice trembled.
Fall.
Very good. All right. Now, do you all know what duendes are? You all ever heard of that?
Yes, miss.
No,
Yes.
miss.
Oh, miss,
No,
I
miss.
never
No,
heard of that.
miss.
But
Miss,
Yes,
I
miss. No,
No.
miss.
All right.
miss,
So
I never heard of that.
let me
It's
tell you a little story. All right. So let me tell you a little story then. Right? So duendes, when we were growing up as children, our parents told us about these little children. So they died before being christened, and they probably were naughty as well. So what happened? Their souls could not go to heaven. So what they did, they lived in the forest, and they were turned into creatures who, as the description here said, they were naked and they just had a big straw hat covering most of their face. You just seeing blue lips, and their feet would be turned backwards. Can you imagine that? Yeah. So yeah. So they usually would come out around dusk when the place is just getting dark, and they will call your name. And it says that if you listen to the duendes and you answer them and you follow them, you will be.
This is like a spirit.
Yes, it's like a spirit, and you will turn into a duende also. So, have you ever had the experience where you're hearing mommy or daddy calling your name, and then you go and they say, "But I never called you"?
Yes,
Anybody?
yeah.
miss.
Yes, miss.
We
Well,
do know what it is that happened to me.
What if I told you that would have been a duende calling you? What do you think about that?
It's just a
Very
thing.
Scary? Yes.
Miss,
Miss, you, Miss, you
miss,
creeping me out.
That's happening to me.
Sorry. Well, that is what. So, you know,
miss,
All the time that was happening to me.
uh-huh.
miss, don't
Exactly.
say
So, you know that Five Nights at Freddy's that you all like and you all talk about? Doesn't
Yes.
it sound a little
miss,
bit?
I'm home alone. Please don't tell me about duendes. I
Oh,
always
I,
tell things.
I'm so sorry. Well, honestly, let me tell you. So that is what we call folklore tales. And to be honest, I think that our parents would have told us those stories. Do you know long ago when we were little children, we didn't have phones? How mommy and daddy calling us home? So they would tell us stories like that so that we'll get home before it gets dark. When we go and we playing with our cousins next door. You know how
Miss,
we
miss, what is the thing not calling you then?
what?
So when you hear anything calling you, what is it? So is it after a door?
No. I mean, I know it happens, but I can't explain it. But again, our parents
This
would have
is a demon.
used, well,
Miss, I know what he
Miss.
called.
just don't answer. Don't answer and don't go. Especially if you know for sure you're not, you know,
Miss,
you're
I
not
know what
hearing
it's
anything.
called.
What is it
Miss,
called?
a mimic.
A mimic.
That
Oh,
mimic.
yes. Yes, that's true. The mimics. Yes, correct. Right? So all of those
Why have to bring
ideas.
that up?
Okay.
Stop
We'll
talking
not.
over me.
Yeah, we'll
Yes.
not do any scary stories. We'll move away from the scary stories.
Like
But
I said, I am home alone.
all right, so we'll not do any scary stories, right? But what I want to show you is how wonderful narrative writing is. You get an idea and you can create, you can use something because all of those things have, some inspiration from somewhere, right? Now, back to characterization. Do you see how we use physical features? So we said the formula is PAPD, right? So I'm going to put that, let me just zoom out a little bit so I could write here on the screen. PAPED. Now, for our grandparents' home, remember that story that there was a secret passageway? Give me an idea that we want to use. What idea we want to use for that story? One idea. What we discovered in that passageway? Give me a non-scary. Can we use a friendly dragon or a friendly dinosaur?
Yes,
No,
miss.
miss.
Yeah.
Want to say
All right.
something,
So it's
Yes,
but
just an.
dinosaur.
All right.
scary.
Okay, so a friendly dragon, right? Because we don't want to use anything scary because it's late. We don't want to scare anybody, right? So PAPED, right? Zendaya and Manny, let's not write up on the screen. Thank you. I'm going to show you how you use this formula and what it means. So P is for physical features. That is how the character looks, right? So their height, their shape, their eyes, their hair, their color of their skin, that sort of thing. Then you have the A, action. What does the character do? Does it walk fast? Does it slam its foot? Does it run? Does it move towards you? Then you have the other P, which is personality. What kind of person is this character? Are they kind? Are they scary? Are they mean? And then E, emotional response, how they make us feel. Are they making us feel scared and comfortable? Right? And then D, dialogue, what they say. Now, I want you to remember the question we started off with. You are at your grandparents' home and you discovered a secret passageway. Write the story of what you discovered, right? So we are going to use that storyline and we're going to pull back the formula of CRISP. We are going to pull back the formula of Iraqafe and we're going to pull back the formula of PAPED. So far, so good?
Yes, miss.
All right.
Yes,
Now,
miss.
Yes.
we are going to also, before we go on to that, right? Let me just, so I saved the PAPED formula here, right? Sorry, I'm scratching up the screen myself, right? Now I'm going to come back to the PAPD. I want to discuss setting, right? Now, setting is time and place. As we know, time and place in a story. We're coming back to all the formulas, but I want you to understand them, and then we're going to pull them back into that story with the grandparents. So, setting deals with time, place, also the creation of mood and atmosphere. So, what I have here is some sample setting, right? So we had some readers who wanted to read. So what I will do, I'll lower everybody's hands now. And I'm just going to ask, oh, I can't lower everybody's hands. All right. Those who would like to read, we don't have much reading, but you can put your hands up. So Thurwin, read the first one. Zendaya, read the second one. And Eden, read the third one. So these are sample paragraphs of how we use setting. So setting, you use your adjectives, you use your adverbs, you also use your five senses. Think about what am I seeing? What am I hearing? What am I smelling? Taste,
Excuse me,
touch.
miss.
Yes?
Miss me?
Yes, so Thurwin is going first and Zendaya, you'll read after.
Okay.
Thurwin, go ahead.
As the golden orb rose from its slumber, the horizontal was
Horizon.
the,
The
hor-
horizon, right?
the horizon was lit with an
Iridescent,
iridescent
tinged hue,
tinged hue of orange and gold. The
fleecy,
fleecy white clouds floated lazily in the
cerulean,
cerulean skies as an
imperturbable,
imperturbable wall of the wind whipped gently at the nape of my neck.
See all them big fancy words, they mean such simple things, huh? So let me show you how vocabulary is a powerful thing. The golden orb rose from its slumber. That's the sense of sight. And what is the golden orb referring to? The
Sun.
sun. Excellent. And the horizon, you know, as far as your eye could see, it looks like a straight line, not so? When you look out and you look far, far, far,
Yes,
that's
miss.
what you, so that is what you call the horizon, as far as your eyes can see. And it says that the horizon was lit with an iridescent. You all know what the pearl color is? Like a pearl, every time you shift it, it has like a different shine or color. Yeah. So
Yes,
that is what, very good. So that is what iridescent looks like. It looks like a pearl, right? Every time you move it, it kind of has a different shade of something. So an iridescent tinged hue. The word hue is color of orange and gold. The fleecy white clouds. So we're describing the clouds and how they look. We're not just saying white clouds. We're saying fleecy white clouds. They floated lazily in the cerulean skies. Anybody knows what cerulean means?
No.
No.
Cerulean is a color. What color you think it is?
Yes.
Look at context clues. It's in the so it's the white clouds floated lazily in the cerulean skies. What color is the skies? Blue.
Light
Blue.
Light blue. So you
light
see how, so you see how your context clue is going to help you. Cerulean is a shade of blue, a light shade of blue. See, so you learn a vocabulary today. And an impermeable waft of wind, meaning that it's impenetrable, and it whipped gently at the nape of it. Can you feel that wind just touching your neck gently? Yes. Nice.
No.
Not really.
Well, just imagine,
Yes,
right?
miss.
So we're going to use our imagination. So that's what we want to do with our setting. We use our setting in such a way that it's going to make the reader see and feel because we are using our five senses. So how we feel, how we see things, we are just painting a picture with words. So that was to describe early morning. How does the early morning breeze feel? Not nice and gentle and kind of cool?
Yes, miss.
Yes,
No,
right?
miss. Very cold.
Very cool.
Very cold.
All right. So
Yes,
Zendaya
miss.
is going very
Too
good. So
cold.
let's read. Zendaya is going to continue reading for us. Zendaya, go ahead. Night.
The night was inky black, not a shade of light penetrated the thick compa-
Canopy.
Canopy.
canopy of darkness, the towering censer like trees from ghostly fingers that lined the narrow and insulated street.
Isolated street.
Isolated street. A dis a
Brisk.
breeze, a breeze of wind nipped nippled at the scalp of my neck,
Mm-hmm.
and the cold air
Invigorated.
invigorated my senses.
Very good. So,
Miss.
nighttime. The night was, so we're going with sight. The night was inky black. Not a shed of light penetrated the thick canopy of darkness. Does that make it feel like it was an extra dark night that we can't see anything?
Yes,
Yes, miss.
Yes, miss.
The
yes,
towering
miss.
sentinel like trees. Yes, a
Yes, miss.
sentinel is a soldier, so the trees stand up straight. Towering, tall trees form ghastly figures, making it look little. How? The word ghastly makes the whole thing feel what? What mood we get there?
Scary.
A
Scary.
ghost
Very good.
light.
Right? Scary. So it stand up like figures, ghastly figures, and it lined the isolated street. A brisk wind nipped at the scruff of my neck, and the cold air invigorated my senses. The word invigorated here, if we use our context clues, invigorate, refreshing. Excellent. Yes, very good. Right. So let's read fire. So are you getting the hang of it? So there are some,
Miss. Excuse me,
right?
miss.
Yes.
Miss, I
Sorry.
Miss, I can read.
Miss, I need next
Okay.
to read.
All right. No problem. I have 10 persons
Miss, I
hands
can
up.
read.
Okay, Funny, go ahead. Go ahead.
Miss.
What makes it wasn't my turn?
Read.
All right, don't worry. We have other little things to read,
I
right?
want to read. I want
Listen.
to
It was
So here's
my
what we're gonna do.
turn.
We're gonna make it a little fair, right?
How do
So,
you read?
like, I'm just gonna call in the order I have here. Bailey, read for us the night. Sorry, fire. Bailey is
But
going to read
I said it
fire.
was me to read the fire one.
All right, go ahead, Bailey. I'll come back to you.
An
Right?
acrid scent permeated the atmosphere as columns of smoke spiraled into the air. The avaricious flames raged, and I could hear the crackling sound devouring everything in its path. As the searing flames rapidly consumed the helpless structure, a thick black canopy of smoke blanketed the sky. An intense heat radiated from the relentless flame as everything turned to ashes.
Very good. So,
very good.
can we see how the fire it makes that impression in our mind that we can see how the acrid, so acrid is a burnt smell permeating the atmosphere, meaning it everywhere was smelling of this burned kind of scent, and columns of
Yes,
smoke
miss.
in the air. Avaricious means greedy. So the greedy flames was just eating away at everything else.
And
Intense
still
heat.
stop drawing.
Yes, intense heat radiated from the flames. So the words that we are choosing and writing, does it create that picture of a fire scene in your mind? Yes?
Yes,
Miss.
Very good.
Yes.
Right? So let's read the next one. Janique, go ahead and read Sunset for us.
okay, miss.
As a glorious yellow sphere descended beneath the horizon. Oh,
Sorry. That's my bad. I don't know what happened there. Sorry. Okay. Here we go. Yes.
Miss.
as a glorious yellow. Miss, I cannot see anything they're writing on it.
I'm seeing that. Yes.
Okay.
Miss.
As the glorious yellow sphere descended beneath the horizon, a lustrous hue of golden rays cast long shadows of stillness across the vista. An earthy scent enveloped the atmosphere as a cool fire caressed the nape of my neck with the impending promise of a star-hung night.
Excellent. Right? So do we get that mental picture again? Yes? Right? Ashta, read. Let's read now.
Miss.
Mm-hmm.
Am I reading now?
I'm supposed to read night.
Okay. Ashta, go ahead and read.
Miss, the pages are blocking me.
Okay. I would really appreciate if you guys, the pages thing here. Okay, good. See you now?
Yes, miss.
All right, go ahead.
And the writing on the screen.
I know. Right, go ahead, Ashta.
An ominous canopy of grey filled the vast expanse above. The swollen clouds threatened to burst forth with an abundance of rain. The lightning drew jagged patterns across the inky black skies, which coordinated with the bellowing wind.
The bellowing thunder. Excellent. Do we get a picture of the rain as we read there?
Yes, miss.
Right.
Yes.
Now, what I'm going to do, right? What I'm going to do in the textbook that I have for creative writing, I'm going to send you vocabulary lists and phrases for some settings. So these were some example of paragraphs from the text, and I'm going to send you some phrases. So what I want you to do with those phrases when I send them, I want you to take out some that you can use in your stories when you're writing.
Okay,
Right?
miss.
And I'm also going to send for feelings. So we also have phrases for feelings, right? Because a story must have feelings. I'm going to ask again. Please, I don't know how to disable writing on the screen. Can we not write on the screen? It's causing us not to be able to read properly, right? Okay, so I have, All right. So if you've read already, just put your hand down so I can call those who didn't get a chance yet, right? Manny, can you read the first one? So what we're going to see here is we're going to see how we use happiness, sadness, fear, and so on in our stories. And like I said, I'm going to send to Miss some examples of phrases so that you can use them in your stories. So you'll get some for setting, you'll get some for the phrases for feelings as well. All right. Okay, Isan,
Miss.
mic isn't working. All right.
Miss, I can read for
Miss,
happiness.
Okay, just
I can
all
read
right.
whenever
I
the question
asked.
trade.
Okay,
Yes,
just now,
Miss.
I asked Mani to read. Mani, can you read for us? Mani. All right, Mani.
Miss, can
Mani.
I read?
All right, so
Yes,
Mani is
Miss.
not reading. So
I
Janice.
didn't get a chance.
All right, so Janice, go ahead and read for us quickly.
Miss, my name is Janesi.
Janesi. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Janesi. Beautiful name.
My eyes widened as I spotted the shiny warper. Immediately my heart leaped with elation. Jubilation consumed me like a tidal wave. I cartwheeled with utter joy towards the Titanic wrapped box. As I excitedly ripped away the layer of paper, exper- experienced
Exuberance.
exuberance filled me to the brim. As I saw before my eyes the gift I wanted with all my heart, a bike.
Excellent. So were we able to see the happiness, the phrases for happiness? See how nice it comes. Did we get that feeling of happiness?
Yes,
Yes,
miss.
Miss.
Right. So
Yes,
when you're
Miss.
doing your stories, you're
Yes,
not going to say, I was happy. I felt happy when I saw my friend. No, you're going to say things like, my eyes widened with joy. I was ecstatic. I started to jump up and down and scream with jubilation. So that's how we're going to do the feelings. You're going to make, all right. Jai McLaurin,
Miss, can I read?
can we not write up on the screen? Thank you. All right.
Miss.
It's J. Macarons.
Okay.
can I?
Right.
Miss,
So
I
let
can
me see.
read.
Okay.
Miss, can I read?
Person with, I don't know who is, because I'm just working with those whose hands are up, right? I know
Miss,
some of
may I
you are
read?
asking.
Miss, I think you have to press on the pencil to stop them from writing.
No, I tried that and it didn't work. All right, Jael Joseph, can you read Fair for me, please?
Miss J.L. Josie.
Jael Joseph. Jael, go ahead.
Paralyzed with fear, I stood dumbstruck. My heart palpitated as fear overtook my body like the poisonous bite from a snake.
Girl.
In the distance, the lanky man, fully clad in black, dragged himself towards me with a menacing look on his face. My body
God.
was as cold as ice as the silver shine of the knife in his hand stood out. My entire anatomy rocked with panic. Beads of perspiration gushed down my forehead. My heart and stomach exchanged places at once. At the movement
At that moment,
at that moment, panic left panic lent wings to my feet as I ran for my life.
very good. Did we get that feeling of fear? Like we could clearly picture it?
Yes,
Yes,
miss.
Miss.
No.
That's So that's what we want to do when we are writing. We want to make sure that we use
The
those
person
phrases,
stop drawing
right?
on the screen.
I know.
Yes, Miss.
I know. Yes. So I am going to,
Excuse me, Miss.
yes.
I can read.
Yes, go ahead. Read the next one. Go ahead.
Miss, Miss,
Miss JMC Lawrence is
I
writing
know,
on the
I know, I know. Right,
Miss,
go ahead and read.
Miss.
Ask me to read. Go ahead and read.
I know
Excuse
how to
me.
turn off drawing for other people.
Right, go
Excuse me,
ahead.
Miss. Is it
Miss, somebody
possible to
drawing on the
transfer
screen.
back the host so I could
But stop talking now.
possibly take it out?
Right. Okay.
Yes, and those of you who are drawing on the screen, you're supposed to be paying attention and not drawing on the screen.
Yes, Miss. The J
Miss, I
right
can
now.
start now?
Yes,
yes,
Miss.
Yes, go ahead and read. Go ahead and read. Let me put
yes,
Miss back on.
yes, Miss.
Heartbroken, I stood helplessly.
Mm-hmm.
Miss this oh,
Yes.
this slide is finger blocking, eh?
Excuse me, Miss.
Okay.
In the distance, I heard the
Miss,
volley of a police siren. The red and blue flash filled the surroundings, much to my
Reprieve.
relief.
Consumed me.
Consumed me with charm.
A
Triumph.
Surely, as
triumphant
I
face.
Triumphant.
finally rescued the brutally policeman, the, the kidnappers, a chain wave of relief swept over me as I heavily uh,
Miss, the person that is talking,
left of
I'm
the
hearing someone talking in the background.
I know.
Mute your mic,
Yes.
guys.
Miss, I can read for sadness.
Oh. All right. Someone
Miss,
has their mic on. I
Yes, I
believe.
can read.
Miss, I can read for sadness the longest time I've been asking.
I know. Okay, go ahead. You can read sadness.
Too much people
Heartbroken.
talking at the same time.
Oi, oi, oi. Oi.
Heartbroken, I stood helplessly.
The
Hello?
person who is
I can
reading,
read.
unmute
Right?
your
Yes,
mic.
go ahead. Heartbroken.
Heartbroken, I stood heavily as I viewed my tree house being burned to nothing by
I
thick
was so to read.
white ashes
Miss,
consumed me like a grinning tongue, which licked at the wood
Wooden construction.
construction I had placed so many fond memories in. I grieved my voice as the red and orange
Miss,
flames burned me.
Miss, he's not supposed to read. My grief constructed my.
Miss,
Miss, read twice.
Miss, you know you had. I was supposed to read.
I know I was giving you a chance to
Listen, I'm
read.
quiet.
Miss,
Okay.
I was reading and somebody just interrupts me.
I
Yeah,
know.
Miss, that person got read now.
I know you. I know you're very excited to read, and I am very happy that you all are excited to read, right? But we want, and I'm so sorry that I don't have so many things for you. But as we go along, just keep your hands raised, and I will call on you as we go along. And please also keep the mics muted unless you are reading, right? We want to be
Miss, I'm
fair.
supposed to read sadness.
We want to be fair to everybody so that we can all hear what each other is saying, right? So this student would have been an example. This would have been an example of how we use feelings in stories. Like I said, I will send to Miss the list of phrases so you can just look at the list and you will pick out the ones that you like and you use them in your own story writing. Good? So we are going to move on to a review here. Now, I'm not going to use this review. I'm going to use the one that we were doing before, right? So that's the one with the grandparents' home. And I want you to follow with me mentally. There's nothing on the screen to see. I want you to use the power of your imagination here. and you are going to follow with the formulas. Remember the formulas that we learned, all right? So I would appreciate if we keep the mics muted, right? Keep the mics muted so everybody can hear. Right, good. Let's keep the mics muted, all right? So what I'm going to do now, right? I'm going to recall that story. So I'm going to put my camera on because I want you all to follow with what I'm saying, right? Now, remember the story that we started off with. The example was that you were at your grandparents' home when you discovered a secret passageway, right? And write a story about what you discovered. So we are going to use a dragon. We found a dragon, and it's going to be a friendly dragon, right? Now, we learned of the formula crisp. So crisp, I want everybody to keep their mics muted, right? Right, keep the mics muted, and I want you to listen because I'm going to put all the formulas we have learned, I'm going to put them now and show you how we're going to use them to write the story. So we learned of crisp, and we said that crisp would be all the things that goes into a story. C for character, C for conflict, R for resolution, S for setting, P for point of view, and P for plot. Now the plot of a story, this is the crisp comes into iracophy. So the most important formula I want you to remember is iracophy. The I is for the introduction. That is how you are going to introduce your story. So you introduce your characters, you introduce your setting. The rising action is building up that story. Then the C is for climax. That is the problem, the high point of drama in that story. The FA is how you solve that problem. And the E is for the ending of the story. So the question was, you were at your grandparents' home when you discovered a secret passageway. So the introduction. I am at my grandparents' home. Good. Now, you know we can start our stories in different ways. So let's just say that your parents had to go to a work meeting and they left you there for the weekend. Bye. So we're starting the story with dialogue. Bye, Mom. Bye, Dad. I eagerly said as I jumped out of my parents' car and raced towards the wooden staircase of my grandparents' home. Bye, champ. Have a good weekend. Don't give your grandparents too much trouble. My dad chuckled. My mom smiled and twinkled. Don't eat too many snacks or make your grandma cook too much things for you, okay? She said with a warm smile plastered across her face. Now, what I did there, I used dialogue to start the story, and I also characterized mom and dad by giving them some dialogue, right? I talked about the pathway and the wooden staircase, which is some part of setting for the story. So we're going to continue the introduction. As I raced towards the door, I noticed the evening sun gently sinking into the horizon. The warmth of the evening breeze gently nipped at the back of my neck. So we now include setting and the characters, right? Knock, knock was the sound of my hands rapping at my grandparents' door. Hey, Joshua, how are you? Grandpa said as he embraced me in his big, strong arms. So, what we did there, we characterized Grandpa as well, right? Big, strong arms giving you a hug. Come in, Grandpa said. As I walked into the house, I smelt the scent of baked, freshly baked chocolate chip cookies. Grandma, did you really? I said with excitement filling my voice. So this is where the feelings come in. Yes, I did. It's your favorite, Grandma said, her warm brown eyes smiling at me as she gave me a plate of cookies on the table. Good. So that would be our introduction to the story. Now we move into the rising action. So we're already at grandparents' home. We established why we are there because the parents left us there to spend the weekend. Rising action. As the night fell, grandma and grandpa would have looked at television. So grandma and grandpa got up from the cozy couch and tousled my hair. Okay, champ, we're going off to sleep. You know how our old people need our rest. Grandma chuckled as she gave me a kiss and headed upstairs. They left me downstairs to my own devices, much to my happiness. As I, yes,
Miss is still a people journalist, Kelly.
I know. But are you all following with me? How we're
Yes, miss.
developing?
Yes,
So
miss.
we're
Yes, miss.
so we're
Yes,
pulling
miss.
Yes,
okay.
miss.
So what
Yes,
I'm
miss.
doing, I'm
Yes,
pulling in the
Yes,
settings,
miss.
I'm pulling in the phrases for the feelings, I'm pulling in characterization, right? So we're going now into the writing action. As I sat there watching television, I realized I was out of popcorn. Quickly, I got up and sprang towards the kitchen, raced towards the kitchen. And as I was going, I saw a strange light that caught my attention. Curiosity filled my mind.
I miss.
I've never seen this doorway before. What could be behind this door? I asked myself. Curiosity got the better of me and I became a detective. My legs started moving towards the doorway and I quickly turned the silver knob and opened the door. What I saw left me speechless. So, this now is the rising action where you discover the passageway. So, you only discover the passageway. Now, we are going into the climax, which is where our dragon comes in. Now, even though our dragon is friendly, to build the tension, to build the drama, you're going to pretend he's scary, right? So, climax. The giant monster towered over me. It stood 6 feet tall. Scales covered its body that glistened in the light. Its eyes were red and piercing through my soul. There was, it had a flared nostril that breathed fire out of it. I could see the sharp claws and pearly white teeth that looked like it would sink into my bones easily. My mind started to go blank. I mentally lost my composure. Fear consumed me like an avaricious monster. What am I going to do? I screamed. It's a dragon. I couldn't believe my eyes. So you build the character of the dragon. So we had personality, that he was scary, how you felt. You had the physical features. He's tall, he's towering over you, the claws, the teeth, and all of that. Right? So we build that description of the dragon. So now I started to run, and suddenly I heard a sound come after me. Hey, wait, don't run away from me. I'm not going to hurt you. I stopped dead in my tracks. So this is the falling action now, right? I stopped dead in my tracks. Did it just speak? I turned around, and to my surprise, the dragon was talking to me. He said his name was Fred and he just wanted to play, that he was trapped in the secret passageway for many years up until this night where I found him. Fred and I went on a wonderful adventure where Fred showed me his world of dragons, where dragons lived and were very happy. There were many mountains and sunrises and rainbows and forests, and we flew around the land. So now you're going to do a setting for Dragon World. So you see, setting can also change in your story. Grandparents' home, now we reach Dragon World. So then you are having this wonderful adventure. Your Fred's eyes lit up with happiness. I'm so happy that I made a friend. And I'm so happy that I met you, he said. Suddenly, I heard a sound. James, James. Curiosity filled me to the brim. Who was that calling me? In a second, I opened my eyes, only to see Grandma's face above me. Are you okay, James? She said. I looked around and realized that the television was on and I was in a pool of sweat and I was looking at Dragon World on television. I chuckled to myself, wait, don't tell me this was all just a dream. I hugged Grandma and said, yes, Grandma, I'm okay. I had quite an amazing adventure just now in my mind. And you end the story with that would be a story that will forever live with me. And I really hoped that my dragon friend Fred would have been real. See how we did that? Yes?
Yes,
Yes,
miss.
Yes,
miss.
miss.
So what
Yes.
we did there,
Yes,
children,
miss.
Yes,
it
miss.
Yes.
we took that story and we just used Irakafe. But
Yes,
in Irakafe, as we build the points in Irakafe, we build our setting, we build our characters, and we build our feelings. So once you have setting, character, feelings, you're going to have a wonderful story. So the document we have here, Miss will send it to you. So when you look over the document, you're going to remember what we discussed. You're going to remember the story about Fred the Dragon. And I want to also remind you,
It was a
I'm
nice
going to
story.
send, yes, I'm going to send some other information so you can pull out the feelings, you can pull out some of the setting as well, so you can use them in your writing. Good?
Yes, Miss.
Okay, Miss. Thank
Yes,
you. Yes. Yes,
nice
Miss.
story.
So
Yes, Miss.
Yes, nice.
this,
Yes,
so
Miss.
good. So
Yes,
this now brings us to an end with narrative writing. Remember, we still
Miss
have
Taylor
to,
thing. Miss
yes,
Taylor post the thing.
sorry,
Yes, for.
we do what we did what? This will be shared to you, don't worry. All right, so let's do a quick practice here. Number 1 to 6, right? You see these stories here? You can use these stories to practice for your exam. So you can read them. You remember you're going to underline. And when you underline, you're going to plan with your orthography. So you see like 1 to 6, underline, character, setting, problem, plan with your orthography, and then write the story, building the feelings, building the setting, building the characters. Do you think you could do that?
Miss, there is
Yes?
an assignment?
Yes, Miss. I
yes,
think so.
Miss. Yes,
Very
Miss.
good.
Yes,
Yes, Miss.
you're
Very
very
good.
bad. Wait, so we have to write a conversation about that?
Well, Miss will tell
You're
you
very
you have to
good.
write one. I'm just showing you how it's done, right? Now, who's right? So any questions before we go on to persuasive, right? Any questions on narrative writing?
Miss, we have to do it now?
No, we're not doing it now. You can use it to practice. But do we have any questions on narrative writing before we continue?
No.
No?
No,
Good.
Miss. Question.
No, Miss.
No, Miss.
So you all understood everything. All right.
Miss,
You all
I
want
have
me
a
to send you
question.
some? You all want me?
Yes. No, Miss.
So here's what I'll do too, right?
Miss,
I
I have
know
a
you all.
question.
I know you all like to read. You see that story with the duets? You all want to read one?
Question.
Yes. Question. Let me hear the question.
Yes, Miss. Miss, I have a question.
Go ahead.
In narrative writing, is it supposed to be only 3 paragraphs?
Well, usually when we do the plot formula, it's usually 5. 1 for the introduction, or it could be more. You don't have to write more. But I'm not sure. Miss can help me out here.
Wow,
So for us here in Trinidad, how we do it, we expect students to have a minimum of 5. Introduction, the rising action, the climax or problem, the falling action or solution, and the end. So minimum 5. I'm not sure
Excuse
how.
me.
Yes, 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 Miss. That's how my own is too.
Okay, good. So minimum
Excuse
5.
me.
But some students
Excuse me.
2 paragraphs for the rising action, 2, 3 for the climax, and so. Yes, another question?
Mute your mic.
Yes, somebody had a question?
Miss me.
Miss,
About
can I?
Go ahead.
you can go first.
Miss, can I read number 1?
Oh, so I'm not going through these here. These are for you to practice.
Miss, when
So
next
we
class
can write
then?
it down.
No, this will be sent to you. So you don't have to write it down. You will get this. Don't worry, you'll get this.
Excuse me, Miss.
Yes.
There's an assignment?
Well, if Miss would like for you all to do it as an assignment, that's okay. But this is for practice. So what you can do is practice. So
Yes, Miss.
I'm going to show you something. You see this here? This here is an example from the textbook. So notice here I have the plan here. So what I'll do as well from the textbook, I have the story with Atlantis. I have a couple stories I can send to Miss, so Miss can share the stories with you. So you'll see the Iraqi plan and you'll see the story as well. Sounds good?
Miss who is Miss?
Miss Mills. Yes? All right. So I'm going to take off my video here now. So we're going to switch and we're going to move over to persuasive writing. So persuasive writing is where you have to convince the reader of your point of view.
Yo,
right?
Miss,
Yes?
can I write this before you take it out?
No, this you will get this. So you don't have to write it, right? Miss will send the document to everybody so you can have it to go over. Right? I just want you to listen. So
That's not the problem.
Right? Okay, so we are looking at
Right on the screen.
so persuasive writing is writing that is used to convince the reader. You have
Yes.
yes, you would have to convince the reader of your point of view. So
No, like that. No, come on, yeah, you see that boy there?
it means
Me, I
that
come
the
to
language
play a
has to be
PS4, and then
so it means that your writing has to be strong, highlighting your point of view. So with persuasive writing, similar, you read your question carefully, underline and identify from the question itself any important information. Pay attention to your vocabulary and content for the topic. So we have again, just like we have for narrative writing, the formula of crisp, Iraqafe, and the character formula. We have formulas here for persuasive writing. So for persuasive writing, there's an IBCV, introduction, body, conclusion. So I'm going to break down each part of IBCV, right? In your persuasive writing, the introduction for your question, you should define any concepts on the question. Then you explain that in 2 or 3 sentences, what the topic is about, and then you put your thesis. So this formula is DET, and this is just for the introduction, right? Now, your thesis statement is one sentence that will say what your point is and the 3 points that is going to be discussed in the essay. So, for example, if it says homework should be banned, you should say, yes, homework should be banned, and you say why. So, saying yes is your point of view, and the 3 points, why.
Yes.
Yes?
My teacher actually made us write a persuasive writing on why homework should be banned.
Okay, good. So
My
it means
book. Miss,
yeah. Yes.
Miss,
Yes, I'm listening.
Miss, we going to what time we finishing?
We should be wrapping up in a little bit. This is the end of the persuasive. Is not going to take as long as the narrative, right? So
Yes,
just
Miss.
stay a few, just stay a few
Okay,
more
Miss.
minutes.
Excuse me, miss.
Yes.
After we have expository,
Yes, we have the expository afterwards, right? So we have
I
the body of
see.
the so we have the body of the essay. So every paragraph after the introduction, you have TEES. So it's topic sentence, which is one sentence that tells us what the paragraph will be about. Then you explain
Yes,
that,
Miss.
and then you give some evidence to back up your answer, and then you summarize. Then you have your conclusion, you restate your points, and then you summarize. So I'm going to show you how this is going to go, right? So the
Yes,
question
Miss.
here, should parents limit the amount of time their children spend on their devices? That's the question. So the essay plan is define what are so the mics. Let's mute the mics, please. Right. So we're going to get through quicker if everybody cooperates, right? So with persuasive writing, the topic here says, should parents limit the amount of time their children spend on their devices? So should parents limit the amount of time their children spend on devices? So we are going to explain what are devices. And should parents limit, you have to answer yes or no. That's where your point of view comes. So the introduction,
No.
we define what are devices. So we say devices are electronic.
Yes, I have ideas for both of them.
Very good.
yes.
So we are going to define what are devices, right? So they are electronic items that can be used for communication, research. Explain these devices can be in the form of phones, tablets, and these devices can be used for research and so on. The thesis statement. Parents should limit the amount of time their children spend on the devices as children often get distracted. They get addicted to devices as well as they depend on the devices to complete assignments, right? So that's what we are doing with our question. You look at the question, you pick your point of view, And then after you pick your point of view, you are going to build your introduction. Right? Now, every paragraph after that will explain the 3 reasons why you say that these devices should be limited. Right? So we had here a sample essay, right? So let us, I remember some students who wanted to read. Um, so who was the student who wanted to read and
Me,
who
miss. Me.
okay.
Me. Today.
All right, I'm hearing
Me. That was me.
so go
Me.
ahead.
That was me.
There was a student who was reading and then someone started to read while he was reading. Can that
Me,
student?
miss.
Right. So go ahead
Me.
and read for me the introduction.
Me.
Everybody else,
Me,
can you read?
miss.
Everybody else?
Miss, I can read. Miss, they interrupt me when I was reading.
Yes, I know. Go ahead and read.
Me too.
All
Okay.
right, so one would read first and the other student would read second.
Device in today's world refers to tablets,
Devices.
computers, devices. Just no one. I can't tell you, Mike. Devices in today's world refers to tablets, computers, laptop phones, and all and any other electronic item that children use for education or entertainment. And we're laughing.
Okay.
Right? So we read it. So
Me.
are you seeing how we explain devices? What are devices?
Yes. Can I read?
Yes.
Right? Okay, go
Miss,
ahead
I
and read
can
next.
read too.
Miss, I can read.
Me.
Go ahead and read, please.
Miss, I can read.
Miss, I can read
You
too.
need to mute your mics when somebody is muting.
May I read, please?
Miss, I can read.
My days.
Miss, I can read. Miss, I can.
I
Mute
can't.
your mics one at a time, bro.
Excuse me, miss.
Yes, can someone read the second part, please?
Me.
Miss, I
Okay, go
can
ahead.
read too.
Me.
It would
Miss,
be
me.
all right. So stop saying me and just start reading.
Miss, I read
The
my
devices are
device.
often
While
used
these
for a number of
devices are
reasons.
used
To look at research,
students need to limit
to attend online class, to look.
Jake, tadi dia apa? Pola saya. With my is.
Right, continue reading for me, please.
While these devices are useful, parents need to limit their children's use of as overuse can lead to children falling behind in classes, children's eyesight begin affected, and children not being fit and healthy.
Very good. Let's read the paragraph one. So, paragraph one, so the topic sentence, the thesis story is saying that
Miss,
yes, devices are useful, but parents need to limit because children can fall behind in classes because of overuse. Their eyesight will be affected and children will not be fit and healthy. So, let us read, and I want us to cooperate, please. Let us read paragraph one. Let us see how we develop the point of falling behind classes. So, can I have one volunteer?
Me.
Just one person, just start
I
to read, please.
want to read. I want to read. I want
It's
to.
me. And I forget to transfer.
Miss, over.
Miss, I never get to read.
Right. So, as I
The
said, if you want to
overuse
read, just
device
start
can lead
reading.
to
Right? Just start
children
reading.
falling behind in their schoolwork. This is so as the time spent on devices is time away from revising schoolwork.
While it is understood students can use devices for research, they still need to revise and practice for their revision of topics learned in school.
In fact, a survey done by the
Ministry.
Ministry of Education in Dominica reveals that in 2023, over 80 of students
2023.
scored less than 50 in the end of term tests, which was due to time lost from using devices.
Of
This
This statistic
statistic is
is
alarming and
alarming.
says that parents need to limit time for an improvement in child's performance.
Excellent. So you see how everybody read? You just grabbed the reading. So what we just saw here was how we use TEES. So we said that the overuse of devices leads to children falling behind. And why? This is because they are spending time on devices and not revision. And then while we understand they use devices for research, this is the explanation now that they are not revising for topics. And now we must back up what we say with evidence. So evidence means we have to say, use statistics. We have to use persons who are in authority, survey. So what you make up your information and you make it sound real. So when we read things like a Ministry of Education survey, doesn't that sound real?
Yes, miss.
No, wait,
So
yes, miss.
right. So when you're doing your persuasive pieces, try to make sure you make up evidence that sounds like it's real, that's actual information. So, according to the Minister of Education, 40%
Yes,
of
miss.
students, right? So, you make up your information and then you
Yes,
sit
excuse
down
me.
and you say it. So, you wrap up the
Excuse me.
paragraph. 1 second. You wrap up the paragraph and you say, based on this information, it is important that parents limit screen time. Yes, let me hear the question.
Miss, I was about to say, I was reading really nice with a person. I think it was a girl or boy. Can
Uh-huh.
we read the body of paragraph 2?
Okay, go ahead. Body of power. So we're going to continue. So again, take charge and just start reading.
Okay, so the person that was reading with me last time, can you do the first and I'll do the other one?
Additionally,
Okay.
additionally, the overuse of devices can lead to a negative impact on children's eye vision.
When
When
children
children
spend
spend
hours
hours
on the
on the
devices,
devices,
there is a
the
blue
blue
light that
light that
affects the
affects their
vision.
vision.
Overusing
Over the
of devices will have children exposed to this light, which will negative,
Negative,
negative
negatively affect
negatively.
their vision.
Negatively.
this is affect the vision.
My days, bro. I was
Let's
A
read
recent
paragraph
survey
two.
done by the eye specialist in Dominica stated that there has been an increase in the need for glasses in young children. That children as young as 2 are now wearing
Spectacles, glasses.
spectacles to help them see.
This
This
is
is
in need.
indeed a very alarming situation and definitely says parents must limit their children's time spent on devices so that children would have healthier vision during their lives.
Furthermore, all of devices will lead to children who are unhealthy due to lack of exercise. Children need exercise to fit and healthy. They need to be active to burn off calories and keep their body in a healthy state. Then they can sit in front of the devices. They are not active. This can lead to being overweight and diseases such as diabetes can affect them at a very early age.
According
According
to
to
the
the
medical
medical
journal, a
a
study was
study
conducted
was
where there was a 70% increase in diabetic children in 2023.
This is very worrying as diabetes is a lifestyle disease and it also will complicate the quality of life for these children.
Without adult parents need to limit their children's time spending on device so that they can lead healthy lives.
In the final analysis, there is a need for parents to limit screen time for their children as this can lead to low grades, poor vision, and lifestyle diseases such as diabetes.
There is no way that parents can think, but controlling screen time is not important. Is control is they want the children to get unhealthy.
There is no way that
Give
parents
other
can
people
think.
chances to read.
Very, very
Guys, y'all need to stop fighting, bro.
Very good, children. So, children, after reading this, right?
I can't
That
even read. Stop
after
fighting.
reading the
I
example,
can't even
can
read.
you see how very simple it is to follow
Yes,
the
miss.
formula and have
Yes,
really nice information for that persuasive?
yes, miss.
Make sure you choose language. You see what I have here? Things like in the final analysis. There's no
Yes,
way,
miss.
without a doubt, according to a medical journal. You see those phrases? I want you to incorporate them into the topics that you are using for yourself for practice, right? So the formula is for introduction, DET, define, explain, thesis. Then for the three paragraphs in the body of the essay, TEES, topic sentence, which is like a summary of what the paragraph is about, the explanation, the evidence, and then the summary, right? So that is how the formula works. It's the same. So now we are going to move into the expository. Do you know the expository? So I put some questions here as well. So you can
Miss,
use these questions for
Yes.
practice. Everybody understands that? So,
miss,
so
Yes.
again,
Yes, miss.
Yes,
right.
miss.
So you have narrative to practice. You have the argumentative questions to practice with the formula, right? Now, the formula, the same formula is going to work for the expository. So it's very easy,
miss,
except the language is going to be different. Are you going to use language, strong things like I believe, or it should not be, without a doubt? Um, are we going to use that kind of language in the expository?
Yes, miss. Yes, miss.
No,
Miss.
no,
Yes, miss.
no. Expository is to give information. So the difference is that even though the formulas are used for both expository and persuasive, persuasive is to persuade. So you have to convince somebody. So your language is going to be stronger. For expository, you're giving them information, like teaching them a lesson, right?
In them with your
excuse me, miss.
Yes, you're giving them information. Yes, questions.
Yeah, miss, we have to do descriptive
Well, the narrative descriptive goes together.
Oh,
Yeah?
because
Uh-huh.
my teacher say she think they're going to do descriptive, narrative, persuasive, and expository this year.
Okay, well, that's exactly what we are doing here. So the descriptive and narrative goes together because
excuse
descriptive
me.
is using your five senses to describe,
Okay, miss.
right? Okay, so follow with me. We're almost
Miss.
through. Yes.
What time we ending class?
Well, and I was now going to say just follow with me for a bit. We are almost through, right? So with that, so again, I'm going to ask everybody mute your mics and let's pay attention. One last, give it a 15 minutes and we're good to go. Right? Mute the mics. Everybody, mute your mics. Good. Thank you. So,
Writing on the screen. Thank you very much. Guys, I would like you to stop it.
Miss, your mic is muted.
okay, my mic is muted. Yes. So what I did here for you
We need
guys,
somebody writing on the screen.
yes, I'm seeing that.
No,
All right.
please.
So,
Wait, stop writing on the screen now.
all right, let's go now. So you see this listing here? these are some transitional words are linking words. They link sentences and they also link paragraphs and they also link ideas. So I want you to look through this list. When you're doing your persuasive and your expository, you can use this. However, both firstly, nevertheless, moreover, so you have transitions to use throughout your essay. That's good, children, right? So now
Yes,
we have
ma'am.
the same
Yes,
formula.
miss.
Yes,
Yes,
miss.
miss.
So look at this
Yes,
question.
miss.
Right. So let's look at
Mhm.
this question here. The topic for the expository, remember we said argumentative or persuasive is to convince. So our language must be a little stronger. Expository, the language is to inform, to give information, how to do something, the process in doing something. So the topic here is how to prepare for the GNA, the G6 and A exams, right? So we are going to use the same formula. So students who would like to read, just as we did just now, we did beautifully. Just start reading, and also those who read
Primary
already,
students must prepare
those
by using
one.
good studying habits.
All right,
What
one
are
second.
good
One
studying
second.
habits?
Those who read already, give a chance to others who didn't get to read. I'd appreciate that. Right?
Yes,
Yes, please.
Right.
Okay,
Go
okay.
ahead. Let's read the
Miss,
sample essay.
miss, I would like to read.
Miss,
Just go ahead. Just
the
go ahead.
National Grade 6 Assessment is is an exam that is taken at the end of primary school to place students in secondary school. The fact that this exam determines your secondary level placement says that you should place an effort into preparing for this exam. We will now look at how to prepare for this exam by looking at study habits with preparation in mind and positive thoughts. And doll.
Firstly, students must prepare by using good habits. What are good study habits? Study habits are the strategies we use for prepare for the exams, such as a timetable. To create a timetable, you should write the list of subjects you have to study for and put a time that you would use to do revision for this subject. For example, you can study mathematics on Mondays 6 p.m.
Next, you can schedule your revision according to your own preference. You can create your study timetable according to the times you work.
Addition,
Exam
Yes.
Example, you can study early in the morning before school or in the evening after school and weekend.
Let
additional,
someone else read.
additionally, when you study, you can read the notes and then ask yourself questions
So
on
question
what
on
you
what you
read.
you can also
Test yourself by using similar
questions
questions
that
that may
may
come
come
from the exam.
from
You can
exercise.
use
Hello,
Go
hello,
ahead. You can.
hello.
you can have someone help by asking questions on what you have learned as well. You can
Another way you can prepare for the grade six assessment is by having
Right. Another way you can prepare for your grade 6 national assessment is by having positive thoughts. When you keep positive thoughts, you will feel more confident and less stressed. This will help you to focus and keep your center. A positive mind will help to have clear memory to be able to write the exam. So this now is the conclusion. Someone read the conclusion.
Finally, it is important to have a plan to use to study for
Finally,
a
it's
grade 5
important to have a plan
national
to
state
use to work for grade 6,
exam.
5
You
national
should have
assessment
a
exam.
timetable
You
that
should
should
have
run according to
timetables
your
that record your preferred.
preference
Two people
and
are
have
reading
a
that.
And
plan
have a plan on the
on
way
the ways to
guides a
revise.
positive mind.
And
Also
also
helps
help
Two
in
people
your
are reading that.
preparation.
Right. Okay. So, did you see how very easy this essay was as well? Very simple, very easy.
No, Miss, I couldn't
yes,
understand them. Sure, I was reading too much.
I know. I know everybody is excited to read and all of that. Now, the last page on this document here is a reminder for exams. Read all your
I stop
questions
showing your
carefully.
hair.
Choose questions you're most confident in writing. Plan your answer before. So that's the plan, the Iraqafe plan, the TEES plans, and then remember to use appropriate vocabulary and content for the particular writing. All right. So I have another document I'm going to share with you guys before we go. Um, right. Um, where is it? 1 second.
Mute your mic.
Yes.
Off the back of 100 where you are. Was it just a touch too short and a touch too?
Mute your mic.
You have to mute your mic.
All right, children. Right. I was asking you guys, did you follow what we did so far? So what I have is basically some questions, some sample questions.
No, mommy.
Everybody, did you all have a clear understanding? So again, I'm going to go over and just refresh what we would have done. So we'll tackle narrative writing first. And like I said, narrative writing is writing a story. And you are writing a story, the formula would be to plan with Iraqafe, which is the plot, introduction, rising action, climax, falling action, end. And making sure in that Iraqafe, you build your setting, you build your characters, you build your feelings. And remember, I said I will share some phrases, I will share some sample stories that you can just read and get a handle as to how the writing should flow. There's also the persuasive. Remember, the point of persuasion is to convince someone. So your language has to be strong, where you are saying it must be. One can say that without a shadow. So you are convincing someone,
Miss.
right?
Yes,
And
Miss.
the expository is going to be. So the expository will inform us. So this gives us information on how we do something. First, do this. Second, do that. This is going to give you this result. That is going to do that. So the language is a little more informative. It's less strong as the persuasive. Now I share the transitions on this document. So you will select certain transitions for the persuasive and for the expository pieces. What I also did, because as I said, I'm secondary school, for my Form 5s for this year, I would have done some sample persuasive topics. So I will send that to Miss. So you would have some sample essays on persuasive topics and some sample narratives. I didn't get to do any of the expository. So that one you would have to kind of practice the questions that I sent, but you will get some samples, which I know helps quite a lot. Persuasive samples and narrative samples for sure. All right. Are there any questions on what we discussed? I know it was quite a lot to take in, but you all did really well, right? Are there
Yes, Miss.
any
The
questions?
opportunity to ask questions if you have any. So go ahead and ask your questions if you have.
Yes, Miss. Excuse me. Miss, do
What?
you do class every Sunday?
Yes, I do classes every Sunday.
Okay.
So what?
Um, so Miss, while you was like showing your screen and thing, I was also writing. I have 4 papers of what you talk about
Wow.
and what you explained. So
Very
I
nice.
will go through that and I'll go through the notes that you sent to me. And I'm grateful for you to teach me a lot of things for my exam. Thank you.
No, you lying.
Most welcome. Any other
Hello,
questions?
Miss.
Yes.
Miss, thank you for your time. I hope you have a wonderful.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm happy to be here. I always say that we are in this, teachers, students, we're always in this together, right? So I'm
Yes,
happy
Miss.
that I can help. If there's anything, as I said, I will share some additional information with Miss and she will send it
Yes,
to me,
Miss.
right? And
Yes, Miss.
yes,
Yes, Miss, thank you so much.
you're most welcome. Most welcome.
Yes,
Yeah,
Miss. Thank you very much for this opportunity.
you're
I
most
was
welcome.
ready last year better. I was
Excuse you,
ready
Miss.
more ready last year.
Excuse you, Miss.
Listening?
How many paragraphs are in exploratory writing?
What's the question of expository writing?
Yes.
Topics for expository writing?
Yes, Miss.
Okay, so I have a document that has some topics. So you would see some questions for narrative, you will see the questions for
Yes, Miss.
persuasive, and there's also questions for the expository. So you will see questions, yes?
Yes, Miss.
Okay. Any other questions?
Yes, Miss, I have a question.
So was it easy for you to understand? Because that was a lot. You all kind of did a whole year's work in less than
Yes,
2 hours.
Miss.
Yes,
Less
Miss.
than 2 hours. So that's impressive. Impressive. Yeah?
Miss, it's a lot for class to be ending at 7:30.
Sorry?
It's a lot for class to be ending at 7:30.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. It is. It is.
Past by
I do,
bedtime.
yes, it's a lot. But and that's why I'm saying you all did really well to process all of this in less than 2 hours. That is amazing. Yeah?
To me.
Excuse me.
Yes?
Miss, my phone about to die, so we can end now or you have more to say?
No, that's about it for me from my end. So I will pass you over to Miss Mills.
Bye,
Yes?
Miss.
Bye.
Right.
Yes, good luck in
We
your
are
exam.
ending
Before you
just
go,
yet.
Thank
Ivana.
you. Thank you so much.
Thank you for teaching
Bye,
us. Bye
Miss.
bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.
All right, we are
Bye.
not ending just
Goodbye.
yet.
All right, Miss Mills said
Bye.
to hold on. Don't end yet.
Okay. So, Miss Ali, thank you once again for doing this with us on behalf of ACE Academics. We really appreciate all that you shared with the students. And for sure, we know that they really enjoyed and they took their notes. I will be sharing the information from Miss Ali with you guys after this. I have one thing to tell you guys though. Remind your parents of the creative writing mock exams. It is very soon. It will be done on May 9th. Okay, I'm just gonna show you guys on my screen so you can probably just see it quickly. So we have the creative writing mock on May 9th, and then we have the general mock on May 16th. Now we have a special deal for all of you guys who are here. So those of you who left early, I am so sorry. But those of you who are on here, your parents actually get $20 off. So they get the both exams, so only $80. But the deal is they have to message us this evening or tomorrow morning to get that deal. If they message anytime after that, then they are not going to get that deal. So everybody else is gonna get it for the normal price. But those of you who did the class today are actually going to get it for a cheaper price. That is only $80. So remind them to send us a message this evening and tomorrow morning, and they will get their discount for the exam. All right, guys?
Yes, Miss.
All right, awesome. So
Excuse me, Miss, how we messaging?
on WhatsApp. They
What's
have
the number?
225-1128. So 225-1128. All right. So when they message that number, they can get the discounted price. Okay. All right, everyone, have a good evening. Do have a blessed week at school as well. Ensure that you do your homework and everything that you need to do in preparation for the week. And all the best. Thank you guys for joining.
Enjoy your week.
Bye.
Miss.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Miss Gemina?
Yes, sir.
Bye, Miss.
Bye-bye.
Miss, is every Sunday 5:30?
No, we this is just a one time, okay? So this is a one-time workshop. In terms of our classes, it is done every Saturday from 11 a.m. Okay? So if
Okay,
your
Miss.
parents are interested in that, they could send us a message on the same number, the same WhatsApp number, 225-1128. Okay? We have a few more classes before grade 6 exam comes around.
Yes, Miss. Thank you.
Okay, no problem.
Well, Miss, all
Yes.
the classes are going to be on Zoom.
Yes, all our classes are on Zoom. All of them are recorded. You get assessments. Currently, our students have a writing assessment that they have due soon, and different things. There are different teachers, and yeah.
What is your number again? I have to write it.
225-1128.
Miss,
Yes.
Miss, what we have to say to get the discount?
What's that?
Excuse me, Miss.
Yes.
Miss, I have a question to ask.
Yes. What's your question, Fanai? Fanai, remember you went up for Princess Show.
Miss,
Yes.
your number is 225-1128.
Yes, that's the number. 225